I'm BarrettC25 from Creekside. I'll be talking about Jonah chapter 2 today. I'm going to ask you a question. Have you ever seen anything that looks really good on the outside, but it's just terrible on the inside? I know a guy who bought a car. It was beautiful on the outside, a sweet gray Mustang. But when the guy started driving it, it was terrible. The car broke down many times, and it cost more than $20,000 to fix. And now it is a pile of scraps. Not a great investment if you thought it. Not a great investment, even though it was perfect for graduation photos. But still, a great example of something that was great on the outside, but not so great on the inside. The prophet Jonah was commissioned by Yahweh to preach the evil, corrupt, sinful city of Nineveh in present-day Iraq. But Jonah wasn't having any of that, so he took off to Joppa and then to Tarshish, which we think is in Spain. But on the way, a huge storm from God comes, and the ship Jonah is on threatens to sink. The pagan sailors are panicking and throwing goods into the sea to lighten the ship. Then he is reluctantly thrown off by the sailors. Excuse me. Then he's reluctantly thrown off the ship into the sea, where he sees this ginormous fish. And he's like, well, I guess this is where I kicked the bucket. But the fish is actually his salvation from drowning. Cramped inside the belly of the fish, Jonah utters a long, beautiful prayer. Here it is in Jonah 2. From inside the fish, Jonah prayed to the Lord his God. He said, in my distress I called to the Lord, and he answered me. From the depth in the realm of the dead I called for help, and you listened to my cry. You hurled me into the depths, into the very heart of the seas. The current swirled around me. All your waves and breakers swept over me. I said, I have been banished from your sight, yet I will look again towards your holy temple. The engulfing waters threatened me, the deep surrounded me. Seaweed was wrapped around my head. To the roots of the mountains I sank down. The earth barred me in forever. But you, Lord my God, brought my life from the pit. When my life was ebbing away, I remembered you, Lord, and my prayer rose to you, to your holy temple. Those who cling to worthless idols turn away from God's love for them. But I, with shouts of grateful praise, will sacrifice to you. What I vowed, I will make good. I will say, salvation belongs to the Lord. And the Lord commanded a fish and vomited Jonah on the dry land. If you look closer into his prayer, you will see that there is no repentance, no apologizing for directly disobeying God. And God gives him a second chance. And in his prayer, you'd see little things like, those who cling to worthless idols turn away from God's love for them, but I, with shouts of grateful praise, will sacrifice to you. Repentance is one, a change of heart, and a change of action. Jonah, even though Nineveh repented of their ways and changed, his sermon that he gave them was a mere 5 words in Hebrew. Yet 40 days, and Nineveh shall be overthrown. All of that phrase in his prayer, and he was delivered from the fish. But his actions show no sign of him really caring about the Ninevites. Now let's turn to Luke chapter 18. A Pharisee and a tax collector are praying. Here is verses 9 through 14. To some who were confident of their own righteousness and looked down on everyone else, Jesus told this parable. 2 men went up to the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood by himself and prayed and said, God, I thank you that I'm not like other people, robbers, evildoers, and adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week and give a tenth of all I have. But the tax collector stood at a distance. He would not even look up to heaven, but beat his chest and said, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. I tell you that this man, rather than the other, went home justified before God. For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. Which prayer sounded more like Jonah's? One was insincere, prideful, and arrogant, while the tax collector's prayer was humble and repentant. We should not be hollow, as the prayer of Jonah and the Pharisee. Have you seen Christians who come to church, sing, pray, and pray? They're singing, they're praising God, but they show us their heart when they leave the church room. That is not a Christian. A Christian is not once or twice a week they go to church. A Christian is someone who shows Jesus in and out of the church building, not just when people see their good works, but in private as well.
Yes.
The fake Christians are like a hollow tree when a man comes up and he cuts it down to make a bench. But when he opens it up, it is hollow, empty, and useless. We must not be a hollow tree. We must be Christians that are full of Jesus in and out of the spotlight.